recording.
Hello, internets. We are back. We have returned to you and to everyone and to us and ourselves. And we're here for some podcasting. Robin, take it away.
We've definitely returned to ourselves.
We have to read feedback this time.
Yes, I have it on my notes. And we have to return to innocence.
Ha ha!
Fire up the Enya, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Where's my notes? Okay. You're listening to Redemptioncast, Season 4, Episode 9 through 10, Long Day's Journey and Awakening. The creepy girl's warning that the answers among you causes mistrust among the gang when Gwen Raiden drops by to help. But their efforts are thwarted when the beast succeeds in blotting out the sun, leading Angel to realize that the one person who can help has been locked away since Buffy Season 2.
That was very uncomfortable. I'm Stephanie. I'm Kimberly.
I am Illyrio.
And I'm Christian.
Hello.
Welcome, Christian.
Welcome, Christian. Good to have you here. Thank you for staying up so late in Denmark.
From Denmark.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You never guessed it before, have you?
Nope.
Okay.
But yeah, it's always listen to you so long time, so you feel familiar to me, but it does not go the other way. So
Maybe not, but
Not yet.
it's always good to have first-time guests.
thank you.
Your favorite, by the way. You can say Gabby. You can
Say Gabby. It's always Gabby.
It's okay. You guys don't need to do that. We know it's me.
Now, before we
Oh
get
my
started on the new episodes, we forgot something last week, which was to read the feedback. We got a couple emails in, and
Jeez,
also
some people were so testy about that.
yeah, I think Ray was joking.
Joking.
Kim, you weren't here last time either, so feel free to comment on these emails as I'm reading them.
If I may interrupt, Kim, how come you haven't quit the show?
Well, I was about to blow up yesterday when I was emailing Robin. I was like, I'll save it for the podcast. Last week, I think it was serendipity that kept me from the podcast because which episode was it? Apocalypse Now-ish?
And Habeas Corpses, yep.
Yeah, so Apocalypse Now-ish took me about it took me 3 times to watch it because I honestly kept falling asleep right when I kept falling asleep when the sky started raining fire.
Oh wow. So
and so I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta watch it again. So I started the episode again, fell asleep again in the same spot. And then I was like, I forced myself to stay up and watch it, and I was absolutely mortified when I watched the end. And I was like, ooh, I got some stuff to talk about on Redemptioncast. Mm-hmm. And then when we set to record, I was locked out of my place because there was a blackout in about a 3 radius block from where I live. It was out for 15 hours. And I got in, luckily, there was a service elevator. I got back to my place, but I had no power, no internet. And then I was like, someone's telling me I shouldn't discuss this episode because I was so angry. I was so disgusted. And I was about to just throw in the towel and be like, guys, you take it from here.
Yeah. It was so gross.
It was beyond gross.
Let me read Bruce's email here, and feel free to comment, Kim, on anything that he's talking about here. So he says, this is one of my favorite 2-parters in the entire series. Lots of stuff going on, some questions answered, more questions raised. Also, some things that some people find, quote unquote, icky. Speaking of which, that dream sequence still fools me until about halfway through. When we're watching a dream or hallucination, Now we're talking about the first dream, the one where
Yes.
the guy. Okay, when we're watching a dream or hallucination, they usually give us a clue that things are not what they seem, but not this time, as far as I can tell. Gunn not allowing Fred to make her own choice a couple episodes ago doesn't seem to be working out too well. Angel should invest in a rocket launcher. That one camera angle in through the diner window really reminds me of a similar shot in The Avengers. More dead lawyers, but Lila makes it out again. Too bad for Gavin. Any last words for Gavin, Kim?
See you on the island.
See you another life, brother.
Yes.
And he finishes off. He's just throwing a few zombies in. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for that email you sent, Bruce, in July 9th. Oh, a month ago.
Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna say we're not timely.
So it's good that Bruce shares my opinion. It is not, I mean, yes, it is icky. Yes, it's icky. But it's so good because, like...
No, it's not.
Yeah, because, like, the father-son, I mean...
It's disgusting.
Oh, it's so good. That they're in competition with each other, and...
They're really not, but... Okay.
I have to say I'm on the pervert side, so I cannot see so much problem with it.
That's fair.
That's one way to put it.
Cordelia saw a baby, and then she's a totally different person. There was the body was different. There was no personality from the baby, and so on. So they know they're the same people, but they are not the same people, physical and mentally. So, yeah.
So
wait, weird. I find it weird.
Wait, Christian, are you saying that you're okay with, like, you're not icked out by it?
No, I'm not.
See, you're bringing your European, non-puritanical. See, it's not icky. I mean,
it is icky.
It's icky,
but we have to understand that, yes, Buffy Summers in the YouTube chat says it's icky. Bruce says it isn't too late for the father to kill the son. I think you misspelled son, Bruce, unless you did that.
Can I just remind everybody there's less of an age difference between Cordy and Connor than Angel and Buffy?
Okay. Correct. This is true.
But she never, but Angel never held Buffy when she was a newborn baby.
Well, you don't know that. That could have happened.
All right, let me read Ray's email because he gets really upset if you don't read them. So. He said, "First off, I want to get the Cordy and Connor thing out of the way so that I can move on. Basically, I hate everything to do with Connor and Cordelia, and them sleeping together is so gross and weird. I mean, she was changing his diapers not that long ago. I don't think there are many fans of the show that like this development at all, and I'm with the majority on that one. I'm sure that you guys will talk a lot about it, so I'm just going to move on. Go ahead.
Changing someone's diapers does not preclude you from having sex with them. It's something I have learned when I had the internet." Move on.
Besides that, I like the dark vibe of these episodes. The Beast has such an ominous presence. I almost said ominous president for some reason.
No reason at all.
That they spend most of the time either being scared of his impending arrival or being terrorized by him once he arrives. His motivations still aren't very clear, but what is clear is that he seems fairly unstoppable at this point, and he's bringing terror and death with him wherever he goes. The aftermath of the Wolfram and Hart murder rampage is really devastating and dark for a network show. I know that the Wolfram and Hart employees aren't the best people in the world, but it's shocking to see them all get murdered in that fashion, especially since Wolfram and Hart have been such a big part of the show since episode 1. Although I do feel like the zombie thing is a bit unnecessary and feels like too much. It does lead to a funny conversation between Angel and Connor about what a zombie is, though. And I guess zombie lawyers is an upgrade over the zombie cops from The Thin Deadline. But zombie Gavin is no Olivia Moore either.
No.
That's an iZombie reference. I don't know if it was the way it was cut or what, but I also found it weird that it looked like Gunn sacrificed himself to save Fred and Wesley and then just opened the door a couple of minutes later and was fine and didn't talk about that either. Or didn't talk about it again. Maybe it was just me, but it just felt weird because he was about to be swarmed and he barely has a scratch on him when he pops back up. It's kind of weird.
Maybe he's now
Also,
a zombie.
Also, there was a deleted scene. I mentioned it. I don't know if anybody remembers, but basically Gunn comes back in and he pretends that he was bit and then like lunges at them and then is just like, I'm just kidding. But they took that scene out for some reason. Also, I'm loving Wesley in these episodes. He decides to get himself together and dump Lila, although their role-playing session in the first episode was a lot of fun. I've grown to really like Lila as a character, but Wesley needed to get focused and get back in the fight for good with Angel. I don't even mind the bickering between him and Gunn because I'm just happy to see everyone together again. And even though Wes is done with Lila, he seems to be keeping the stubble and contact lenses of Dark Wesley. Overall, if you take out the Connor and Cordy stuff, these are pretty decent episodes. They aren't going to be on any best of lists, but they do a solid job of settling a grim tone and establishing the Beast as an enemy. Thanks, Ray.
Yes.
Agreed.
Ray did not email about this week's episode. I'm just thinking we've let him down, and hopefully we'll win him back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the lack of Lila in these episodes that we're covering tonight, like it's obvious, like we miss Lila.
I don't. We got Electra.
I
baby.
don't. I don't.
We got leather pants, midriff exposing Electra or whatever her name is. Raiden.
Gwen Raiden. Yeah, I asked
Gwen?
Mayor Smith. Mary?
It's Mare.
Mare. I asked her on Twitter today, like
The writer of this episode, guys, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Where this character came from because she, originated her in what episode was that?
Ground State?
Ground State, like the second episode. And I was just saying she's very comic booky. And she said, yeah, that was her intent. She wanted to create her own superhero complete with origin story. Raiden is obviously the Japanese god of thunder and lightning. I wanted a hero.
Obviously. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah.
All I could come up with was X-Men.
Yeah.
And I wanted a hero who wasn't particularly into the greater good until she met Angel and the crew. So she wanted somebody who could be turned to do good, take her powers and do good. And also she said you can also put her down as canonically bisexual since Nick is not just her butler in her mythology. And I swear I cannot remember the butler. I do not remember the butler.
It's Sugar from Survivor.
Yep.
I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to go back and watch that episode.
She was on Survivor. Her name was Sugar. She was blonde.
Jessica Kuiper. Yeah.
Who?
I don't know either.
All right, so let's start talking about Long Day's Journey, though. And I don't know, maybe Christian can start us off because we're not doing like full recaps anymore. So where do you want to start? What do you want to first talking about, Christian?
No pressure. Yeah.
What'd you like about this episode? What'd you not like?
Gwen, it was funny when you talked about her. I thought she was a good character, but she was a crossover character. I don't think she feel native to this universe. I like her, but she's not totally fitting in with the rest of the story, I think.
I totally agree. She feels a little out of place, just a little.
Yeah, and I was talking to Steph about this. I think Steph agrees with you, and I was thinking how she's kind of like this you know, like everybody in like the lobby or whatever hotel lobby's got, you know, their aggressions with each other, inner dramas, past histories and stuff, and then just comes Gwen into the mix, and she's just this, I don't know, sexy girl who can hold her own, and I don't know, is flirting left and right, and especially in this episode where Cordy is obviously threatened by her.
Well, the out of placeness, she belongs in a universe with Adam, right? It's very sci-fi. And this show, these shows, right? Potential cast and Redemption cast, Buffy and Angel. These shows are not sci-fi, right? They've never really been science fiction. I mean, sure, we had what was the episode with Moloch who was seducing Willow through the internets?
I Robot You Jane.
I Robot You Jane. But
A classic.
But that was a demon,
Ted.
right? Ted, but the thing is, Ted is like the only one that didn't feel. Reminder, everyone, I loved Ted. I thought that episode was great, but it was because I didn't see the swerve coming. I thought he was just an obsessive, controlling, awful stepdad figure. It turns out he was a maniac robot. And you know, that's right. And Buffy Bot, I guess, felt a little bit out of place.
Warren stuff.
You know, so there is a little bit of, once they go into kind of sci-fi stuff, it does feel odd. But at the same time, we're so used to vamps being just normal on these shows that kind of interesting to see what they kind of throw at us and what they give us and what they bring about. And I'm happy that Gwen was in this episode. I actually like that character a lot. I think a character that is incredibly strong and powerful and self-willed and self-reliant and independent for, you know, I guess tragic reasons, but is really just on her own, is really great. Especially when you contrast it with this whole collective that has to always, you know, they always work best when they're working together, right? Just like Angel.
I like her, but she does feel a little bit forced, but not in a Faith kind of way. Sorry, Robin, but
it's relentless.
Breathe. But she just feels a little again a little forced on us. I still don't know what her purpose is yet. Maybe she will have one that's going to be like, okay, great. But
yeah, that's what I agree. I'm open-minded. I'm waiting to see what happens. But from my recollection, I can't. I feel like she was very unsatisfying as a character.
One idea that I think might have helped out is, what if instead of at the beginning of an episode we see her parents, you know, punk her off to some orphanage or whatever, she's actually, we don't get that stupid origin story, but the way we're introduced to her is she's one of Wolfram and Hart's agents. You know, I think that would have worked better. You know, I think that would have worked better.
Yeah, if she'd been more involved in the story.
Yeah.
Instead
Also,
of
it's
just come from out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were secretly hoping that she'd get her own spin-off show, because she comes from her own universe. She's got her own little Gwen cave and like all this different stuff. She's got her own powers. She's got
but that's the whole thing about it. It's like she was introduced because you're like, okay, we're introducing her because we're going to move her somewhere else where then you're going to find out what she's about. But it's like, guess what? We got to like her first, you know, like,
or if they were like, actually, this is a character from a different show we're crossing over. You don't know that show though.
Yeah.
It's,
she just came out of nowhere, and like, she looked too like paint by numbers put together of that era. Like everything she wore head to toe was pure 90s. Every girl in my high school dressed exactly like that, you know. And her maneuvering around in those pleather pants, I'm like, that's so uncomfortable. I'm thinking, like, she must be so, like, that's not something she should be wearing to go fight demons. But hey,
she's a badass and she's a thief. She's got tons of money, so she's able to put herself together like a 90s girl would.
Do you think she were brought onto the show to be like a Buffy.
Yeah, maybe, or I don't know. I just
Not
figured
necessarily Buffy, but
yeah. I just figured they kind of wanted someone new in the mix,
Yeah.
and somebody who's not like a part of all this. I mean, that's just what I assume.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this episode has her being the first person to figure out about the beast collecting things, and that this little girl in the white room was actually a part of a set of
Totems.
that served raw. So a raw
Gotta
tet,
catch
if
them all.
you will. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole part of the story, I adored. I adored all the totems getting killed off, them looking for the totems. When it turned out that one of the totems was actually that character that Angel portrays sometimes with his Hawaiian shirt and his stupid hat.
Herb Saunders. I'm so glad you caught that.
Oh my God, that was totally Herb Saunders. That was great, and he's such a gross perv.
Wanting lap dances.
Yeah, he wants lap dances. Like, dude, seriously? I gotta say that whole part, figuring out what's going on and what he's taking, and the fact that he's killing off all of these totems was really great. I really adored that. I the last couple episodes, I was like, man, this demon thing doesn't really look quite right. It kind of looks cheap, but they didn't really show him. Yeah, like the beast.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't really show him in his entirety, which helped, I think. Every time I see those feet, though, I cringe because they just look awful. But
the goat legs.
It's
yeah.
So discount faith helps at our LA Scoobies, and it was a fun episode. I really enjoyed it. I did not expect. What was his name? Herb Saunders' actual name in this episode.
Manny.
Well, no,
Manny.
but Manjet.
Manjet.
Manjet. I did not expect Manjet to be so hilarious and endearing. I totally expected him to be murdered in that panic. Can I just discuss? So, Christine, my lovely partner, and I, she doesn't really watch these because she doesn't have time to watch Buffy or Angel. But I was watching at home rather than at lunch at work, and she was like putting laundry up or something. I don't know, but we started watching it together. And after I took 5 minutes to catch her up on all the craziness,
I'd love to hear that conversation.
Herb Saunders goes into that panic room, and Christine's like, well, can't the demon just materialize wherever the fuck he wants?
I don't think he's got that power, or maybe it's not one that's been shown on the screen.
Guys, come on. What he doesn't he just appear, or does he have to walk places?
He knocked on Connor's door. I mean, he's polite.
Oh, that got me so mad.
Candygram.
I wrote down, why the F is he knocking?
He likes to make an entrance.
But yeah, it did cross. Like in my imagination, I was like, how is this monster like getting around town? Do people see him?
Well, it's too early for Uber.
So is that what you're thinking?
I bet you he has a 10.
He did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think he has a 10 speed.
So do you think he materialized in that panic room?
No, I think Angelus let him in.
So Angel is a sleeper agent.
So you're on Connor's side.
I don't know about ever being on that piece of shit side. Sorry.
Never record.
Connor is just this much better than Dawn, because we actually saw Connor be born, get taken away, and there's time dilation as an explanation. Okay? Connor was born. He got disappeared to another dimension. The time dilation explains the age difference. Cordy's still really gross to have sex with him. But the idea...
Christian, I'm sorry we're so judgmental.
It's okay. But the idea that,
I have no problem with her having sex with a younger guy.
Yeah.
It's just Connor. It's Connor.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
Little Pete.
who? So okay. So let's discuss who would have let the demon in then, if it wasn't Angel / Angelus.
I mean, any of them,
Yeah.
right? But Angel and Cordy were the ones sitting in that room, right?
Yeah.
Was the panic room behind them? Yeah. Or he materialized, or he opened the door for him. Manny opened the door for him because of something. It's not really known yet.
You know.
But
So that is actually weird, because I mean, did he knock himself out? Did he pretend to be knocked out? And it's not that Angelus is controlling Angel. Like, that's not what we're saying, right? Who spiked their drinks? They didn't answer this.
exactly.
They didn't answer this.
Mhm.
That's weird. Okay. Is Cordy a double agent?
It was Connor, guys. He's
Connor's not evil. He's just pathetic.
Gunn seems to be pointing
every
a lot of
bad
fingers,
thing
too.
that happens. It's Connor.
No. Connor, look, no. Connor, I'm starting to warm
All
up
right,
to
it was
Connor. I'll say
Dawn. It
right
was
now.
Dawn.
I'll say it right here. I'm starting to warm up to Connor. I think Connor,
No.
as a
Nope.
character, and his
Nope.
relationship with his dad, and the relationship
Nope.
with the LA Scoobies is actually growing on me. I don't hate Connor.
I get
think
really irate when he calls Angel Dad. Like it
those
just
are my
it,
favorite bits because
it
it's
gets under it. He's like, Dad. Like first when he was doing it, I thought
It
he was
sounds
doing it in a
awful.
manipulative way.
yeah.
Because he's like, he does it because he knows that Angel will do anything to pull on the heartstrings. Because he's like,
Yeah,
oh, he
'cause-
wants me.
Because at
wants
first he
me
was
to-
being real phony with it. He was phony.
exactly. And then another time when he said Dad, I think it was, well, we'll get there, but I think it was a manifestation of what was. But that I'll get to that theory later.
Yes.
Mhm.
But
what did you
it
guys
gets
think
under my
about-
skin?
What did you guys think about the connection between Gwen and Gunn? Gwen confided in him her whole origin story, if you will, and
That he wasn't paying attention to.
Because he was so he was
Self-absorbed.
thinking about how Wesley and
Oh my god.
Fred are having this sexy nerdy energy between
Oh my god. Can we discuss how horrible Gunn is as a human? So, guys, let's say that you're in a relationship with someone.
But this is every TV
damn it.
show. This is not just okay, I get it.
Like, why do they continue? Like, I hate this so much. I hate this
What?
everywhere. I hate it everywhere.
It's-
Ugh,
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
be
because we're
jealous
watching it.
because
Yeah.
my girlfriend is spending time with someone who isn't me, and he also has a penis.
I started watching. Don't ask me why. I started watching Party of Five on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Just on. This show is so horrible, and every time someone gets into a relationship with someone in one episode, the next episode, when they introduce another somebody of the same sex, they're like, jealousy just flares out of everybody's eyes. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I think
That's the TV thing.
societally, I think that drama in television and movies was soap operas, melodrama was all based on a lot of jealousy, and I think
A lot.
we're kind of moving away from that.
Oh, I certainly hope so, because it's just gross.
Yeah.
It's childish. It's immature.
It's
But-
easy to write. That's the thing. It's easy to
Mhm.
progress the story along because you can't have someone happy all the time. There's no conflict. There's nothing. Who wants to
Right.
watch a drama where everybody's happy all the time? People want to see them struggle. That's the morbid part of, they want to see the conflict get resolved. Because otherwise, what am I doing watching?
Yeah,
So-
and I think now really good drama it steers away from that into different areas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But are not all the characters somewhat stressed and behaving badly? They are not performing perfectly. So Fred was also a little bit wishy-washy. uh, they are in stress situation, so they are not looking good right now. They are losing and taking out their frustration on the others.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. It's always going to be more. All of the drama, all of the tension is always going to be heightened when things are going poorly, especially
For sure.
that there's actually an apocalypse going on. Which I'd like to take a moment and discuss. Why is everyone so calm? Isn't there fire raining down from the sky? And it's not like mass hysteria. I was expecting some mass hysteria to be depicted in these episodes, and it really wasn't. Was it just as simple as budget, or?
I don't actually have any trivia for you in that regard. I maybe they just didn't have enough time for it.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. Like, they made it sound like this beast was going to destroy the sun.
Mm-hmm.
There was no longer going to be a sun. And if there's no sun, that would be catastrophic. But all he really did was blot out the sun, because in Sunnydale, life is going out. Like, what's going on in Sunnydale at the moment?
It's the episode potential.
Wasn't it just?
It's the episode potential. I'm not sure what's going on in that episode, but it's probably something to do with the potentials.
But didn't they say it was just the sun would just be blocked out over LA? Didn't they say that on the news?
First,
just an LA anomaly.
First LA, and then it'll spread. Which what?
That's how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yes.
Just over
magic.
LA proper. That's it.
Yeah. So I was super shocked and surprised when the name Angelus was brought up.
I know. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for you guys.
I think it's amazing that we're in season 4, and this is the first time.
Yeah.
We got some.
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just to say, there is some discussion of like, oh, hasn't Angelus already been on the show in that episode Eternity where that actress spiked his drink and all of a sudden, Cordy and Wesley had to put him down or knock him out and, I don't know, wait till he sobered up or something. But, that wasn't really Angelus. It was more like Angel unrestrained in a way. He didn't actually lose his soul.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, yeah.
Yeah. Buffy Summers in the chat says, Angelus!
Yeah.
Oh, Angelus, we've missed you.
So I was shocked when the Beast was talking to Angel as if he was complicit, and then when he called him Angelus, I was like, what?
Yes.
And when Cordy said it wasn't of the future, it was of the past.
Mm-hmm. And it makes sense because she saw all that stuff. That's why she's so distant from Angel, is because
that's why she can't be with him.
Terrible stuff that Angelus did.
Right. Sure.
So, yeah, that's the question. Like, is the Beast somehow controlling Angel through Angelus? Is Angelus somehow awoken in him to at least manipulate him into doing things while he's like sleeping? Or
so that's the weird thing. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
That's really odd. Because I still don't get how Angel/Angelus could have been doing anything if Angelus isn't really back, because he's not. He's just isn't.
And how does Angel not remember this? Cordy knows about it. How does Angel not remember it?
Because he can remember everything that he did. I mean, that's part of the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's some weird shit.
Subconsciously, he doesn't realize it. It's going to be so good.
And he has photographic memory sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Correct.
So the closing credits have a little thing that says in memory of Glenn Quinn. Glenn Quinn, who played Doyle, died of a heroin overdose right around the time that this episode was
Bless him.
32 years old. Yeah, so poor guy. He was great on this show. Sucks. Heroin sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other notes, guys? I have one more bit of trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fight scene between Connor and the beast thingy.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
climb
That's
up
pretty great.
the beam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Connor
I
looked
thought it was.
awful.
I thought the stunts were really, really good. And when when he went out the window,
It was really
I
good.
was just like, that's pretty cool.
Why did the
And then-
beast have to do his thing in Connor's room?
Mm.
Why
know.
is the beast drawn to Connor? This show needs to answer that question. It's time.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you that in the episode Offspring, the Niazian prophecies do foretell that Connor's creation will lead mankind, quote, into darkness. So it's related.
Stephanie, have you not seen the Angel?
The what?
Have you not seen Angel, the show?
I have, but
Sometimes
I
I
can't
don't think she
remember.
has.
Okay.
She can't remember.
Yeah, no,
Sorry, I remember you have said you have seen
Yeah.
it, but sorry.
Yes,
that's
but-
the problem. Sometimes she's like struggling to remember, then ends up blurting out a spoiler, and I'm like,
And also, it's like been 3 months since we saw Ground State or something. I can't remember back to Ground State.
And I don't know how long it's been since we talked about Offspring. That was when Connor was born.
Yeah.
The
good old days.
So after Connor's thrown through a window, the beast does a ritual, de la habitual ritual inside the little warehouse loft thing, where he eats this orb. And
Yeah. Ew.
They wanted to do something where they wanted to just do it in CGI, but they thought that it would look terrible. This big orb going into his mouth, So they decided to make it out of Jello. So they made Jello inside a racquetball, so it would be so it would be hardened into a ball. They put the black food dye, and as soon as the Jello hardened, they cracked the racquetball around it. And apparently he ate about 4 or 5 of these. They did 4 or 5 different tapes.
Oh my god.
Proving
The first
there's always room for Jello.
Well, I don't know, because the first time he ate they said it lodged in the back of his throat.
Oh no.
And I guess they made a lot of these black orbs because they said the crew ate the rest of them, and they tasted like lime and strawberry.
No
Okay,
vodka.
that's good. No
Oh
vodka.
my God.
Yeah, they didn't say that.
Oh, that'd be awesome if they did that.
The other point about this, I mean, we talked about it, but I mean, a little bit about it. Cordy acting jealous of Gwen, Angel kind of using Gwen's appearance like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
we're friends, just so you know. And then he's like, oh, I'll go off with Gwen. So, all right, I think that's all I have for this episode.
I like Angel's hoodie. It's like he's wearing his gym clothes.
I prefer wearing the hoodie underneath the jacket.
Oh yeah, I really like the jacket on top of the hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of like in Dogma, the angels in Dogma, because they all wear hoodies underneath their jackets.
What if Affleck played Angel?
What if?
All right. So, do we want to go to ratings or quotes? How do you want to do this?
Ratings.
Okay, I'll start. I'm going to give this let's say, I really hated it. It bothered me because at first I'm like, what's Gwen doing here? Then I'm like, okay, she's all right. Then I'm like, nah, do I really like her? Do I not like her? And then every time I saw Connor, I was like, take away points. But then there's that really cool epic fight scene, and I was like, that's cool. But then he kept saying, Dad, it's okay, I'm here now. And I was like, barf. And then the very last scene is when honestly, guys, I got a girl boner, and I was like, hell yes! And I was like, oh my god! So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I can't wait.
Yeah, wasn't it great to be like, holy shit, I can watch the next episode?
Yes. Like, honestly, the very last line of this episode, I applauded. Like, I almost I stood up and I was like, yes! All I've been waiting for. So, 8 out of 10.
Do you have a rating system?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, just okay. Oh, hey, speaking of, I didn't get your rating systems for the rating for the last two. Now that I
Okay,
have my Excel sheet open.
I'm going to say for Apocalypse Nowish, -3. And
What?
for the one
That brings
after
it down
that,
to 6.4.
and what was the
Habeas corpses, zombie lawyers.
Let's say 6.
6. Wow, harsh. Brings it down
Yeah,
to a
I did not
7.7.
I did not like those ones.
Okay, Christian, what did you think of Long Day's Journey?
7 out of 10 super tramps.
Okay.
Very nice.
Illyria?
I thought this episode was wunderbar. There was action. There was a mystery. Why is he going after them? What's he doing? There was Gwen. I enjoy Gwen. There was Gwen keeping a secret for, capitalistic reasons. There was a really snazzy, awesome hideout. There was a wonderful panic room that served to be basically an abattoir later. And then at the end, we got the most amazing reveal that I never expected. Oh my god, it was great. I love this episode. I'm giving this episode 9 out of 10 irresistible cliches.
Okay. Steph?
I agree with everybody. There was some boring parts, okay? I was bored with what did this start out with Angel like drawing the beast?
Yeah, and there was that whole thing where Gwen is talking to one of the totems, and he all of a sudden ends up with a hand coming out his chest, and she meets the beast.
Yeah. It started out really slow. But then when Cordy was jealous of Gwen, I was like, yeah, that's great. And then when Gunn is jealous of Wesley, yeah, this is great. And then, the big fight in Connor's room, it's great. And then, yay, and jealous. So 7 out of 10, small yucky men.
Yeah, I dug this episode. I forgot about the ending of the episode. I didn't realize that we'd have the name Angelus brought up so quickly. But the end really makes me excited. And I don't know, Gwen, I love Gwen. She's fun. Yeah, she's on her own show, but whatever. It's fun. So, I mean, she's no Faith, but so I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 jello shots.
What? How many?
That's 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10
out of 10.
jello shots? Okay.
7.8 for the episode. And Kim, you're muted.
I didn't think you'd hear that.
Quotes.
Christian, do you have a quote?
Yes. Demon, okay. The whole 9. Cloven feet, horns, and teeth. He wasn't wearing lame, though. Yeah, the evil ones can pull it off. It gets camp.
That was great.
I love Lauren.
Lauren is awesome.
Everyone loves Dawn.
Or is it? Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I don't know this beast. No, but Angelus does.
Dun, dun, dun.
So good. So good.
Kim, you got one?
Dad! Good one. There's
Great.
only
That
one
might
way
have
we're
been
going to
stolen
defeat
yet.
this beast.
Stuff.
Stop. There's only one way we're going to
Oh.
defeat this beast. We need Angelus.
Da, da, da.
Mhm.
Steph?
I'm sorry, mine were all taken. I'm sorry. I can't find a good one.
I'd open up Facebook to paste one over to you if I wasn't worried that my laptop was going to crash. I'll read one of mine. Who was inside you? I mean, who were you inside?
That was so
That was
good.
very good.
Now, I just got to quickly grab a plug from the other room and
Yep.
audible.com.
Good news. Good news is we discovered the beast plan, which is to blot out the sun for all of eternity. You guys got it, John?
That was great.
I like the beast's teeth.
Yeah,
He's got good teeth prosthetics.
they're all
I
right.
think I like his whole everything about this beast. The makeup, everything. I like the feet.
I don't like the feet.
I don't care.
Uh,
I think it's awesome.
is this the episode where Cordy wakes up a brunette again?
I think it was this one. So I was like, her hair is super dark.
Yeah.
And I was like, because she's
oh,
obvious, she's preggers. She wants to keep that hair the same.
All right. So
Oh, and-
are we talking about Awakening already? So,
There's something that I noticed. When she goes in and barges in on Angel in his room while he was sketching, and she sits down, she taps her pregnant belly. Did you guys notice that? Like,
Yeah,
she
it's like
draws
you're
attention
making
to her
it
belly.
super obvious.
It's like, dude, stop being obvious. I was worried. Oh my God, is she pregnant with Connor's
Oh God.
child?
I know. I wonder
Don't say
if
that.
they even considered that.
They should have.
Oh God,
It
no,
would've
no
driven
way.
them crazy.
No. People, I think people on the show would have just quit the show and not be like, I'm not going to be part of this nonsense. Cast and
but
crew would have
is
just
Sansa
dropped
pregnant?
everything and left. Well,
All right,
no, but
let's get to. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying that I was, part of me was sort of watching to see how they were hiding her belly. And sometimes like, oh, they did a really good job. And there was maybe one where I was like, she's obviously 9 months pregnant here. But
Yeah.
they did a pretty good job of hiding it. But you can see it sometimes in her face and her arms that she's not as svelte as she was before, but she still looks amazing.
Oh yeah, she's
I
still gorgeous.
actually didn't even notice. It didn't stand out to me in these episodes for some reason. I don't know why. They just.
I don't
You're
think
probably
about
also
it.
you're not looking for it too, so.
Maybe I wasn't. I mean, before I during Apocalypse Now-ish, I noticed.
Whenever I watch
I don't know.
television shows and they shoot like one female like chest up, and whenever she walks in the room, she's holding a giant bag or she's stuck behind some flowers, I'm like, she's pregnant. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, and this one she's wearing a long vest. It's like it's like a sleeveless jacket, and it's furry.
So, shall we talk about the overall thing that happens in this episode and then get into the intricate stuff? I mean, Kim,
I was totally, completely fooled.
Oh, yeah?
I was angry. I was super angry at the end because at first I was so excited. Okay, I was so excited that we were going to see Angelus. Okay, and then when the soul, what's his name?
Whoopang.
Yes.
Yep.
When they were like, oh, he's not needed because we can do it another way. I was like, are you kidding me? You just told me Angelus was coming, and like you pulled this shit on me, and I was so angry. And then I'm watching, and then at the end when they do the double switcheroo, I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't stand this. I can't deal with these emotions of like, why are you toying with me by bringing Angelus back and not bringing him? And then now you're going to you wasted an entire episode where we could have had Angelus.
Wasted. It was awesome.
I was so angry. Like at the end when he's laughing maniacally, I was just like, this does nothing for me. Like if that had happened, if that had happened mid-episode, I'm all in. But they wasted.
That's an awesome two credits moment. Like they go to credits as he's laughing. I love it.
And then you go back and watch, and you realize this whole episode is an angel fantasy. Like he gets everything he wants. He gets an apology from Wesley. He gets him and his son are now okay. He gets the girl. Everything is coming up angel.
He gets excessive booby traps.
That's why I was so doing that. You know what I mean? Like I was just so angry. I was like, you just wasted 30 minutes of a dream sequence.
Yeah, but it's like showing the insides of what Angel really wants. This would be an amazing series finale, like without the Angelus part in it. Like he beats everything. He makes up with everybody. He finally gets Cordy, and oh my God, there's a Cordy and Angel love theme that plays as they're finally.
The best part of this episode is when he prematurely ejaculates. That's all. That's what happens, right?
That's when I thought we were getting Angelus. I was like, okay, here we go.
Hold on. The best part is in his dream sequence, in his fantasy, he rolls over, and what does he say to himself? Buffy.
Buffy. Yep.
Yeah. So I was fooled. I thoroughly enjoyed being fooled in this episode. I absolutely adored the way that they did this. I thought the tattoo on the butt jokes went a little far, but they were kind of fine. And it was just wonderful. It was wonderful. The excessive booby traps were totally an Angel fantasy, of course.
He's watching a lot of Indiana Jones.
It was great, and you're right. There was an apology from Wesley. He and his son are getting along. He gets the girl. I thought it was awesome. I was fooled.
There's even like this rousing speech at the end, and and he goes off and he takes on the beast, and it's all amazing. I'm watching this. I'm like, I can't believe I fell for this the first time because everything is great.
It's too good to be true.
I remember I'm wondering if I had Kim's reaction like when I saw this 15 years ago, because I was like really like, oh my God, the episode before. And that, of course you're waiting a week, between episodes. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, they're bringing Angelus back. Well, actually it was in the promos. So like this season, Angelus is coming back. So we're really looking forward to it.
Really? You got spoiled like that at the season promo?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the promo for this episode showed the very end where Angelus is laying there in the cage and laughing. And so if you're watching this and you watch the promos, you're going, wait a second, he was laying in the cage and that never happened. So that's going to happen. So it's all a trick,
Why would they do that?
Because people are dumb. Because the people that make these decisions don't watch the shows.
And they don't care.
Over and they
care. Only want you to watch. They don't care if you enjoy it. They just want you to watch.
Yeah. So
I was just I was irate because I was like, they went through all this to bring this so what they call the guy give him a soul colonic.
Soul extractor. The soul extractor.
That was funny. That was great. I forgot the gun said that.
And then all of a sudden I was just like it was too quick. I was like, that sucks.
Wow.
I'm shocked. I thought you were going to love
less impressive. If he just sucked the soul out and there's Angelus.
Yeah, I love that. Like Fred asked the soul extractor what the bottle was, and then the bottle got broken. But then at the end, there's the bottle with the soul in it. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also I really like this
Go ahead.
episode, but I think when I saw it first time, I think it's okay to be fooled because there have been some stinkers of episode of Angels. So you
sure.
could think that they are throwing the plan away and starting with something new because this plot device you have going with the Beast does not work. So we're trying something else.
True.
But yeah, it's my favorite episode in this season, and I think it's this season's episode because it's in some ways it's encapsulated season 4, and I can't really talk more about it.
Without spoiling it.
Yeah, and it's it's more satisfying to go back and watch it again and see how over the top these things are. The speech, the hero speech at the end, and when he's getting the apology from Wesley, it's so overwrought. Doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, but also
and that
season
stuff
4
about the mole on Wu Ping's butt side, by the way.
Yeah.
What's that about? I don't know.
That's funny.
What were you saying?
Yeah. Also, season 4, like the season, this episode here, it's season 4 is getting better to see it again because I think season 4 is one long episode. It's very serialized. So there's some plot holes, some giant plot holes probably, but I think it's hold up when you see it one more time. Like this episode here.
Yeah. And probably going to talk about it more next time we discuss things because obviously we're going to have some sort of Angelus in the next episode.
Are you
we hope.
sure? I'm not.
But I just finished watching Buffy season 2 again, and it's such like a different show. Even back then, it was like this, like really like Angel's I can't imagine like if they brought Angelus back the way he was in season 2 into this show with the eyeliner and so I don't honestly this is I can't I want to talk about it. I can't talk about it. So we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, how's he gonna
anybody
get
a
out
fan
of the cage? Does he get out of the cage?
Is he gonna go?
Does he just stay in the cage? Did they just talk to him through the cage?
First off, that cage made me laugh. It would have taken a month to build that cage, and they did it in 15 minutes.
Wesley's like,
They should have played the
Wesley's torch.
A-Team theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wesley's frigging soldering the bars together.
Lauren should have had a cigar. Right.
And I love that Wesley didn't tell anybody. He just took off to wherever, the east, and got.
He went to go find Wu Pang's clan.
Yeah.
Drama queen.
I can tell you that we have seen a person like Wu Pang before. In season 3 of Buffy, the Mayor and Faith bring in a mystic that was dressed just like Wu Pang to take Angel's soul in the episode Enemies. And that's the one where Angel pretended he was Angelus to trick Faith into revealing that she's working for the Mayor.
Oh, I love that. That was so great.
That was a great episode. So yeah, that's the same kind of guy.
Yeah, I knew he seemed familiar doing his tai chi over his roadkill.
Yeah, what the hell?
So some non-dream stuff.
Sorry, Robin. So everything up to when Angel is lying on the table is real time, but then when he lays down and right before it happens, that's when the dream sequence starts, or okay,
yeah, like when he lays down and
okay.
And when all of a sudden that sword comes out and he's trying to stab Angel, that's the beginning of the dream.
Okay, cool, gotcha.
Oh gosh, don't you know? In the next episode, in like 0.25 seconds, and Jealous is going to kill Wu Pang. Like, how is Wu Pang going to get out of this cage?
He's a mystic ninja.
Oh,
He'll just throw a smoke bomb down and appear on the other side of the bars. And then we'll say,
I like to distract people with a smoke
He's
bomb.
locked down, doesn't he?
Huh?
Isn't he? Aren't
Yeah,
his
he's
wrists and
strapped in,
legs
but those
bolted
straps
down?
aren't going to last.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should last long enough just for him to get out.
So the pre-dream stuff is fun too because, well, I wonder if you guys appreciated when Angel finally told Connor to get over it.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, that was the best.
But that
I
was
think
like
I
aimed at Cordy
wrote
as
it
much
down.
as anything, right?
Yeah.
I wrote it down in giant capital letters. Best line.
And the Cordy telling Angel that Angelus is smarter than him.
That was great. Angel had a Fredo moment. I'm smart. I can do things.
And let's see, the Angel telling Connor that Angelus isn't his father, and to make it and to swear that he's gonna take care of things. I don't want to steal anybody's quote, but freaking
Oh, yeah.
funny ass exchange.
Connor is just like, no big deal.
That was
No
the
big
best
deal.
acting like a teenager I've seen.
Yeah. I'm
Some
sure my
incredible-
kid would say the same thing.
Well, I had a comment here like, Connor's teenage angst is too much for me to deal with. I think that's what I wrote down. It's just so
That's
ridiculous.
funny.
over
Oh,
top.
there's a part where Connor says, and Dad, it's your fault for everything. It's your fault for
Yeah.
this. It's your fault that my life sucks. And then he says, it's your fault that she. And in my imagination, like I finished the sentence with, she won't be with me because of you.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree? Anybody have any other thoughts? Is that obvious? And it's super obvious.
I was actually wondering, at what point is Connor going to start blaming Angel for Darla dying and him never knowing his mom? That hasn't entered into things yet. And I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it be great if when he was talking about he was actually about to say it's your fault she died?
She was also a dirty vampire.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was awful. She was
I don't think
syphilitic.
I don't think he has mommy issues as much as his daddy issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
at the beginning of this episode, there is a bit of panic in LA. You see the citizens kind of looking up at the sun, like, "What the hell is going on?"
More
That
on
was
that
the-
later.
What if they just think it's
That was a single
Lips
scene
or-
of the most overacting I've ever seen on a show. Like they're all just sitting basking in the sunlight, and all of a sudden, like hands into the air. Where's the sun? Too much for me. Too funny.
My other note is Wu Pang is a fan of Orange Zinger.
Oh, that's a great tea. I wish that we saw at the beginning what Angel was singing to Lorne, because I was just,
Oh yeah.
that was so funny. Because at first I was like, they're very animated. I'm like, oh, he's singing so he can read him. That's so great.
What was it? He was singing "The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia."
I think that's what they said.
Yeah, because
Christian, do you know that song?
Lauren doesn't like Vicki Lawrence.
I don't think so.
You Google it.
Yeah.
Listen to it. It's an amazing song.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a
it's great.
mystery. It's a story. It's a
wonderful.
whole thing.
It's really great.
So yeah, there's booby traps, there's stakes, there's great Indiana Jones quotes. The Bosch Mahad made with a tooth of light. This is all just stuff that he's making up in his head. I love it. And it's just, yeah, I think we kind of like discussed a lot of this as he just kind of goes through each of his problems. He tells Connor it's not about you, and Connor says she was mine, and Angel says no, she wasn't.
No,
No, I
Cordy
think
says
Cordy
it.
says
No,
that.
Cordy says
Oh,
it.
Cordy says that. That's right. I didn't write down Cordy. That's right.
Courtney
Yeah.
said it, and I was like,
Such angel
"Ooh."
fantasy.
Buffy Summers in the chat
That's great.
says she would have loved to hear Angel sing Harper Valley PTA.
It's a great fight. I don't know if you guys want to talk about any of that stuff.
Pretty awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
now that it's all fake, it's like, meh, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
Look
when
cool.
Angel the beast destroyed the sword or broke the sword,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Connor like saved Angel, and then Angel was able to stick the blade up through the beast's mouth. I mean, it was a good fight, but it was still kind of anticlimactic for what the beast is supposed to be. It was still too easy. So
It's just so easy. Like, yeah, I wondered if like you guys were fooled all the way through, because I think just, man, this is all so easy. This is happening so easily.
No, I was fooled all the way through because I was already getting tired of this 4-episode arc.
Yeah,
I was
like,
already
oh,
like,
finally, we're
when are they
going
going to beat this thing? Oh my God. Okay, finally. Oh, there's a sword. Thank God. Let's move it along.
yeah,
because
because
totally the same way, totally.
well, you know what, the
You don't think
beast
the beast
wasn't
is the big
supposed to show. Wasn't that this was moved up because of the way the Christmas break fell?
Really?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't read that, but oh yeah. I think the last episode, Apocalypse Nowish, was moved up, and they moved Beast into that because the Christmas break was coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then they had a several months break between Apocalypse Nowish and Habeas Corpses. But we're at the end of January now, 2003. I'm not sure if there's anything else. We got the citizens rejoicing. Is that what we
Yeah,
wanted to
let's talk about this bullshit scene. I'm really happy that it was all in Stupid Angel's stupid brain because, huh? What? With her shopping bag right next to her. Who goes shopping when the sun's blotted out? There was that one guy at the coffee shop. Oh, look, the sun is good. You're at Starbucks? Unannounced solar eclipse? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Guys, it's apocalypse time. It's time to go out and, like, you know, fuck everybody. Like when the
Loot.
internet died on the IT crowd. It's the end of the world, bitch. Like, what are you doing sitting at a table at waiting for the barista to bring you your latte? Or I don't know. That was so stupid.
Yeah, why are people working at that coffee place?
Yeah. They're supposed to be fire raining down. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. I don't know
Why
where
are
the fuck
people outside?
the rain of fire just kind of ended, and then
Why is there no curfew?
yeah.
Whatever, man. I guess that's what you get for a pre 9/11 world.
What is post?
Or was this post? It was post?
2000.
This was post 9/11, and people aren't like flipping their
Freaking
fucking
out
shit
over- yeah.
and
that's
freaking out over the
2003.
tiniest little thing. Whatever. Ugh.
Yeah.
Soft.
Anyway, I'm done my rant.
Yeah. So the Angel and Cordy hook up. Were you guys like excited? Angel and Cordy were hooking up, or were you like, ooh?
I
don't know about
was a little bit. I'm worried because I knew what was coming, and not just Angel super early, but like
been a while.
if he has sex,
this?
not
This drink,
according
he doesn't
to
have to do a lot of
Darla,
work.
not according
Oh, that's
to
true.
Darla and him, right? Not it hasn't been that long, but
Yeah,
for real, it's like I'm worried because if he enjoys himself enough,
That's why I was like, here comes Angelus. No
Yeah.
pun intended.
and you weren't
Yeah.
wrong, you weren't wrong.
No,
So-
but just
so maybe
not
you
the
were
way that
thinking-
I
No,
like
but
it.
hold on, guys. But let's dissect this whole plan, right? Wu Pang has Angel imagine and believe that all these things are happening. So
You think he had him imagine that?
Yes, that was all implanted by Wu Pang.
Okay.
My thinking is Wu Pang implanted all that to get Angel to feel his one moment of happiness.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost think
okay.
I don't think he probably implanted the dreams because they
No, he
seem
did.
very angel, but he caused the dreams to happen.
Yeah, he caused them to happen, but I think the entire plan was, let's have Angel get to a point in his mind where he's believing he's about to have a perfect moment of true happiness.
So yeah,
whatever
okay. So
that
he
may
kind of
be.
hypnotized him.
Yeah, so he put him in a trance and had him go through this, so that the pure moment of happiness happens in his brain.
Gotcha.
Angel has that reaction, oh, Buffy, because the premature whatever.
Did he say Buffy?
Yeah, he said Buffy. That was my favorite part.
Okay.
Yeah, she said Buffy.
That's probably when I
and I think it's at that moment when he had his moment of happiness with Cordy. I think that's the moment where the soul left, and it's just because it was manipulated via a trance by Wu Pang. Wu Pang was able to capture the soul,
gotcha.
so that they could then put it in later with whatever plan they haven't told us about yet. So that's how I think.
He said Buffy. Imagine he was in bed with Cordelia and he
had
said Buffy.
It was after the moment of pure happiness. He flips over and he has the exact.
How did I miss that?
Because you were pissed.
Yeah, I was.
And it was exactly. I actually wonder if they, and I know they didn't because he looks much older now, for a vampire that doesn't age. But
yeah,
it was
really
exactly like when he had those pains and he cried out Buffy's name in
Innocence.
It's definitely a lot. It's a lot like that. Like he rolls over and he pants and his eyes are bugging out.
And he says Buffy.
Yeah, say Buffy. Yeah. So it's almost like he's remembering exactly how it happened the last time. So when Wesley says like we gotta bring Angelus out, were you guys thinking who's he gonna sleep with, or were you thinking there's a spell happening?
No, I figured Wu Pang had a plan and Wu Pang was going to be able to do something. But when I realized how Wu Pang did it, I thought it was brilliant. Yeah,
me too.
Under controlled circumstances, tied down in a cage. Let's have Angel believe that he's having a true moment of happiness. And I thought it was really smart. Which I love the episode. I love how they did it. No one had to get banged.
That would be kind of like a Twilight Zone kind of twist on the episode if it all didn't seem like it was rushing the entire season storyline and every arc of the show for a resolution, and then he finally gets everything, and it's like he's like. He loses his soul and he turns into Angelus anyway. That would have been kind of a dark kind of ending.
For sure.
Yeah, I would have liked that too, but I really like this one because it tricked me. Like, there's also that aspect. I really like the aspect that I was tricked, but I really thought it was a brilliant plan. This is how you get Angelus. You have Angel have a true moment of happiness under controlled conditions.
It's interesting to compare Wesley and Cordelia and the others from Angel's dream sequence and then the former episodes, because they are so different. As in this episode, Angel becomes the perfect father, the perfect leader, the perfect lover, and see how different the people react. You can see Gunn is not so. Angel is not so close to Gunn, so he's not so real
prominent.
Prominent. It's Wesley and Cordelia and Connor. That's his main thoughts or concerns.
And he likes Cordelia's hair curly too, because when they finally make her hair is curly again.
So that's the thing too. That I was telling Christine, who was sitting down next to me watching this, I was like, why is her hair all curly? What the hell? Why is she wearing a different outfit? What's going on?
I went back to look at the screen caps from Waiting in the Wings, because that's the last time they got intimate, and this all started to spiral into like Angel Cordy shipping. Whether she looked the same, and she doesn't look the same in that episode. I had a theory. But this was something like, I personally, after Waiting in the Wings, I was sold. I was like, all right, well, Buffy's on another network. I know that's not something you're really supposed to think about in the story, but I was like, they're not going to like cross over. So I'm happy. Cordy is such a good person. I kind of want these two to have something happen here. So I've been looking forward to it all the time. So yeah, that rug was kind of yanked out from under me as a person that was kind of hoping for Cordy to just come to her senses already, and what the hell is going on with you? It definitely felt a little weird and rushed and wow, totally tricked. So that's all the notes I have.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Do you want me to read you a bit of feedback before we start reading?
Please.
Bruce.
Let's do it.
We don't want to forget about Bruce.
Bruce
says, seems like a lot of talk in the first episode, but I guess there are a lot of things needing to be explained. I guess that's what you were thinking too, Steph, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, get to it.
How many jokes about Tahiti in the podcast? I hear it's a magical place. Sorry, we're not huge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people here, so but I get.
But I hear it is a magical place.
Yeah. Hey, green guy, I had a big crush on Vicki Lawrence.
Sorry.
I guess the shaman was related to the mage and enemies. Yep.
From Mama's house?
Yep.
Okay. It's the same Vicki Lawrence. Okay.
Yep.
Mama's family.
Mama's family. Mama's house. Sorry.
I don't know if there's a definitive answer to this, but when Cordelia followed Angel out into the garden, was she using reverse psychology to try to get Angel to change his mind? Or did she really agree with Angel's decision not to allow Angelus out and end up accidentally changing his mind? I guess you can look at it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
After the shaman starts his spell, I guess we see Angel's actual idea of what he wants or needs to be perfectly happy. That includes apologies from Wesley, Cordelia, and Connor, putting his family back together and saving the day, and Cordelia finally putting out. Nicely worded, Bruce.
Oh my God.
Just thinking, this is me offsides. Like this, the whole thing where Angel demands apologies from everybody in his dreams just kind of makes me think of George's dad and Seinfeld. I've got a lot of grievances. Got a lot of problems with you people. All right, Bruce continues. Then there's a call for Buffy. Is that because of the situation he's in, or because of the situation he's leaving the others in? In any case, it feels like there's a big psych out element, but the episode actually delivers what it said it was going to deliver. Oh boy. Thank you, Bruce. No email from Ray. So I double checked.
Sorry, Ray.
So we want to do ratings and quotes and get the heck out of here?
Yep.
Christian, you want to start with your rating?
Yes. 10 out of 10. Soul jars.
Absolutely.
Soul jars. Yeah. On first viewing, I say 7 out of 10, but on second viewing, 9 out of 10. But scriptures.
Nice. I'm giving this 9 out of 10. Unnecessary, extra little, easy to tip over tables. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
If we had discussed this episode yesterday, when we first were going to, I think I would have given it a lower rating. Marinating on it for a while and talking to you guys, I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as it was. It's actually pretty good. But yesterday, I was just so angry because I was so excited to see
you're
Angelus
so close.
Right away.
Yeah,
I know, right away. So it's like, okay, maybe next episode we'll see more of Angelus and hopefully, I'll get my fix. But I was just like, there's too many fake outs and psych outs, and like Alira was saying, it was dragging. And I was like, get on with it. Get on. Oh, here's another thing that they're pulling the rug out from under us. Oh, another thing we've got to wait for. So I was really just sort of like, oh, I'm over this. But if we had rated this yesterday, I would have given it like maybe 5 or 6.
Wow.
But yeah, because I was angry. Like I was so mad.
Oh, I hear you.
That's why I was like, are you guys ready to discuss? Remember when I sent the email? Ready when you are, guys. Like I was so excited to discuss the episode. And you're like, it's tomorrow. And I was like, damn it. Yeah, so I'm going to give this, I'm probably, you know what? I'm probably going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 cages. Like I really, I honestly, I really warmed up to it after discussing this episode tonight. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Calm down, Kim. It was really good. Like it really was.
Yeah, I love this episode. I love it even more now that I've talked about it with you guys. And I forgot to mention that this was written by David Fury and Stephen DeKnight together. So those two guys working on an episode together is going to come up with something crazy. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing wrong with it is that it doesn't have Angelus in it just yet, but it's still it's so good, and so I don't know. I'm just gonna give it 10 out of 10. Cups of orange zinger.
Good one.
That gives it a 9.1.
Yeah. Ooh.
Really?
Almost second best of the season behind Spin the Bottle.
Very cool. Yeah. Hey, that's what we thought. You can let us know what you think by sending us an email at
redemptioncast@gmail.com.
Yeah, or you can join the conversation at the Facebook group. The Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/potentialcast. We have a Twitter, Redemptioncast. And you can check out our website where we release the episodes and such, and maybe have show notes at redemptioncast.blogspot.com. Keep everything spoiler-free or else. And I think it's quote time. Christian, do you have a quote?
Yes, Cordelia and Thomas. Oh, I knew you two would get me in trouble someday.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cordelia talking to her boobs was great. That is absolutely fantastic. I thought it was brilliant and hilarious and cute, all wrapped into one.
And it was Angel.
Good. Yeah. Indeed. Where's mine? Oh, yeah. Did you hear that? There's a sword to kill the beast. And you wanted to turn me into Angelus by having an evil shaman cut off my head. Not that wasn't a swell plan, too. Yeah, that was, oh man, looking back, of course there's a sword to kill the thing. Of course.
There's always.
That's the solution you get.
We're going to need a cage. A strong one, about 10 by 12, steel reinforced, 2-inch bars, maybe 3. I'll make some calls. What, he thinks something like that's going to hold the beast? It's not for the beast, it's for him.
So, did they put a roof on that cage?
I believe it's implied that it goes up to the ceiling.
That's a stupid plan. Ceilings and floors are easy to get through.
There's a roof. I don't know. I'm not sure.
God. What I want is that cage. You don't see it now, but it's in a room with skylights. And oh wait, no, it's dark out. Forget it. It's dark out. I forgot. Damn. All right. Sorry.
Well, I mean, honestly, they just let him out of the cage at the beginning of the next episode. Angelus goes away. It's really quick.
He just he walks off. He walks off into the sunset with the Incredible Hulk theme playing. I'm sure. Hey, Kim, did you have your quote?
And burns alive and dies.
No, it's dark out.
Right, of course.
Kim?
If anything goes wrong, you'll have to kill me. Okay. If anything. All right.
Is it my turn yet?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wood. Why did it have to be wood?
Yeah, that was a good Raiders of the Lost Ark reference.
Yes.
That's what I have here.
Uh,
Oh, I wrote. If you see my notes, it looks like a raging mad woman wrote these because I have Angelus written like an underlined 15 times. And I wrote, I hate Connor so much. Barf, barf, barf. Someone kill him already. And then I wrote, oh, Amy Acker has a nice haircut. Thankfully, she finally cut her hair in layers to brighten up her face. Like, what the hell?
Good observations. Yeah, I was really worried. I mean, you guys saw, I don't know if you saw, but I put a comment thread up in the Facebook book group and just turned off commenting altogether. I did not want like the first comment to be like, I'm jealous. I was like, no. Because, you know, it's there for feedback, but I wanted you guys to be like, what? At the end of Long Day's Journey. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Awesome.
it just has to happen.
I usually don't read the comments anyway until I've seen it.
Yeah, same.
That way.
So the word jealous kind of stands out.
True.
All right.
Any more quotes, or are we wrapping up?
Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Christian, thank you so much for coming on and staying awake so late. What time is it where you are right now?
3 o'clock.
4:30.
Ah, nice. 3 o'clock. Perfect time
Hopefully you have to
to.
go off.
Yeah, Christian is either going to go to bed or he's going to continue plotting the death of James Bond. Because in that chair with that hair, you look like a dashing Bond villain, and I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
you.
Christian, do you have anything you want to plug? Do you have any shows yourself?
This is your cue to pull a cat in from out of nowhere.
Yeah, please grab a cat.
It's a Kia chair, so
Nice. Do you have anything that you want to plug or promote or announce, or do you have any internet presence or podcasts or anything?
nope.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We hope the
Thanks for
wait was
listening.
worth it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hey, Robin.
Yes.
Have you ever purchased a mattress?
Why, Illyrio, I have actually recently
Yeah.
received a mattress from Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's an amazing gentleman, and he
Cool.
specializes in beds.
Cool. All right. What's on the slate for next time?
Next time, we have 34 episodes left of this show. The next 2 episodes are called Soulless and Calvary.
Cavalry?
Okay.
Calvary.
Calvary?
Mhm.
It's cavalry.
Not the cavalry?
misspelled?
Like the cavalry's gonna
It's
ride in and save everybody?
Oh,
I think
biblical.
that's the cavalry.
It's not in the
Calvary is
Bible
more
also.
biblical, yes.
Calvary.
Oh, like Calvary, like
Yep.
where Jesus died on Calvary?
If that's where he died.
Sorry. I don't know why it's just so
Some-
funny to me.
Something makes me think Steph isn't talking about my gardener Jesus. All right. I don't have a gardener. I don't have a garden. There you go. The truth comes out.
Uh-huh.
So predictions, Kim. What do you think is going to happen
Someone
in
get Illyrio a
Solus?
garden. Find his
I just want
GoFundMe
to see
page.
Angelus.
You just want to see Angelus?
I just want to see Angelus cause some shit, stir things
Kill
up,
some
and make
people.
the show interesting again.
So I
It's interesting, but we're in the lull. That's all.
Are
Like
we?
we're in a giant lull. No, yeah, we
Feel
are.
like a low.
It sure does. I want something to happen, like some action-packed stuff to happen, because
All right.
I was waiting for it this episode and I got duped twice. So I was just like, forget this. I just
We're
hate.
about
I
halfway
honestly
through
just,
the season, so.
My
I just
question.
hate getting so invested and then it's a ruse at the end. I'm just like, oh.
My question to
It's
you,
annoying.
Kim, is in the next
Yeah.
episode, Solus. I want to know how much of the episode do you think is going to take place in flashbacks with Angelus and the Beast, and how much is going
Zero.
to take place? You really think so? I think we're going to have a full 50-50 episode.
Oh, I hope so, but I think it's going to be all them talking to him and trying to figure out what he knows about the beast right now.
And he's just going to be in the cage, not saying anything. and taunting them and getting them to hate each other.
If there are flashbacks, I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be back in the day. I think it's going to be in present time where he didn't realize that he was jealous. Like
they're
now.
gonna show us
They're going to show how it all happened.
Thing. Yeah, maybe.
All MI5 styles. Yeah.
I think they'll never explain that to us.
Oh,
I will promise you that there will be at least one moment in the next 2 episodes where you're going to say, holy fucking shit out loud.
So I think
or something related to that.
In the episode
I
called
sure hope so.
The episode called Calgary, that's what I'm going to call it.
Calgary?
Calgary. If it is if it is the place where Jesus was crucified, then I think that there's going to be a huge sacrifice, and I think that sacrifice will be Gunn. Because
Connor?
he's a gun. He's a murderer, and murderers have to pay a price.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. All right. Hey. Bye, everybody.
Hey.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Stopping
night.
the broadcast now.
Namaste.
Hey,
All right.